Hello again, everyone. This video is meant to accompany the first lab assignment in this course. It has been delayed because the software that I use to capture video recordings of the content on the screen just keeps crashing on me. This causes a problem because my original plan was to give you all partial credit for Lab 1 and then give you full credit if you complete the steps that I'm about to walk you through. But I can't just give you all partial credit and then have everybody freak out because they only received partial credit. The video explanation has to come first. So I'm not going to make videos for every lab assignment, but many students begin college without knowing how to access the feedback on Canvas. So that's what I intend to demonstrate here today. Here's how it all works. By the way, I'm never going to share any of your work with anyone, so don't be afraid to take risks in your writing. It's your work, and your opinions may change in the next month or two, or over the next few years. Even if your essay is awesome, I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you to expose yourself to classmates or future students. So this is what Canvas looks like from my perspective. When I want to create an assignment, I click on Assignments. That takes me to the assignment screen, and then I click on Add Assignments. I get this page with a bunch of fields where I get to make decisions and type up instructions for what the assignment should be. For this specific assignment, I want you to submit some information about yourself. I assume by this point you read the instructions for the first lab assignment. As I was grabbing screen caps for this video, I wrote up the instructions for Lab 2, and when I click Save and Publish, it goes back to the assignment screen. Now, I'm going to switch to Student View here. It's not a perfect system, but this is how Canvas lets me check whether or not you, the student, can see the stuff I, the professor, am posting. Norco College doesn't use Blackboard anymore, but I have worked with that system, and I know that this student view thing is also a feature on that system. I just want to include that info because it might be helpful when you transfer to another school. So, as a student, this is what I think you see. I haven't published Lab 2 yet, so that's why you don't see it here. Now, here's how you submit an assignment. You click on the assignment, and it gives you this instructions page. Click Start Assignment, and it opens up this box at the bottom. I made a file in Google Docs, but in Student View, I'm considered masquerading, so it won't let me use the Google Drive option. While we're doing this, let me tell you a story. I do the same assignment in both my 1A and my 1B classes. I found that by 1B, a lot of people still haven't discovered the feedback options on Canvas, and anybody who has taken my 1A has seen them, but they've also had some time to think about their identity and may have a new answer to those first Lab 1 questions. So in my 1B class, I like to show this movie, Blind Spotting, starring Daveed Diggs and Raphael Castle. Hazel? I'm not sure. In that movie, there's a pretty funny moment where a character yells, "I hate my dad!" for, like, no reason. I show this movie at the end of the semester, and I do this assignment at the beginning of a semester. So I had just watched Blind Spotting for like the 5th time, and I was beginning a new semester. As I was demonstrating how to submit an assignment on Canvas, I had to create something to submit from the student view. And since I put myself on the spot like that, suddenly I couldn't think of anything to say. I couldn't form. All I had to do was write a complete sentence, and I couldn't remember how to do that. Only thing I could think of was, "I hate my dad!" So I opened Microsoft Word, I explained the Blind Spotting reference to the students, and I saved a Word doc that just had the words, "I hate my dad" in all caps, onto the desktop in the computer in the classroom. Then I uploaded the file to Canvas just like this. Now, what I'm showing you now is how to submit a file from Google Docs. Another problem I get too often is students trying to submit a Google Doc, and what they submit is a link to their doc, but it doesn't come with permission to view it. You need to be able to download the document as a file onto your computer or your phone, and then submit the file to Canvas. It's really easy with Microsoft Word or with free word processing softwares like OpenOffice or LibreOffice. But Google makes it tricky because Google's default is to save the file onto the Google Drive. But for things like Canvas and Turnitin, a file needs to be saved in their system. So, Google Docs, here we go. I hate my dad. You click here to change the name of the file. Once you click on it, it'll just adopt whatever the text is in the top line of the document. If you want it to be something other than that, you just type the new file name in here. To save it, you go to File, then Download. And you see it presents you with a bunch of different options for file types. That's how you know you're in the right place. DocX, ODT, RTF, and PDF all work fine with Canvas. But DocX and PDF are the file types that are going to be accepted in most places. Once you click this, it downloads directly into your download folder. Then you go to Canvas and click Choose File. This brings up this window. If it's not already in the Downloads folder, you can change that by clicking up here. Find your file, double click on it, and you get this screen. Now Canvas has the file, but you haven't submitted the assignment until you click Submit Assignment. Once you submit it, you get this screen. You see how it says New Attempt instead of Submit Assignments? And how it tells you when the attempt was submitted right here? Okay, back to our story. Then, I left Student View and showed everyone how I, as the professor, find assignments and leave feedback on work submitted by students. Just like this. This is the grader view. Note that I can put feedback here, or I can highlight the text and put it here. Both of these are important for this class because I use this spot for general comments that apply to the whole work, like, this flows really well, or I don't think you addressed the question, or just something like, hey, great job. And I use these highlighted spaces to make specific comments that refer to specific lines or words in your assignment. Like, I'll highlight something and say, this is a run-on sentence, or cannot is one word. Or I'll just point out that you wrote then when it should have been than. Or I might just say something like, that's an interesting construction. And you should note, if I say that is an interesting construction, this is a good thing. I'm being direct, I'm not trying to be polite. What I mean is that you have created something that is interesting. If you create something that sounds weird, I'll tell you that it sounds weird. I'll probably say something like, that's not grammatically incorrect, but it does sound kind of weird. And then you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to change it. If it's not grammatically incorrect, you don't have to. If I think your construction is interesting, but that it doesn't fit in the confines of academic writing conventions, I'll say something like, the way you worded this is interesting, but I don't think it really fits within the bounds of academic writing. Often, in social situations, interesting is used as a code word for weird. But in this course, interesting means interesting, and it's a good thing. Once again, I use this for general comments that apply to the whole assignment, and I use these for specific comments. And you need to know how to find both. You may also find that a professor in a class that you take in the future will use one of these spaces for comments and not the other, while a different professor may use that second location and not the first. And you'll be screwed if you only know one way to find feedback. So, back to our story. Here I put, why do you hate your dad? And here I put, turn that anger into words and you'll kick ass in this class. So then I went back to Student View and searched for the feedback that Professor Monsika left for me, Rick the student. And just like I want you all to do on this lab assignment and in all of your drafts for the papers you're going to write, I click on Submission Details. Note that the general comments are right here and that you can write your own comments in reply. But you have to click here where it says View Feedback to see the highlighted comments that I made. Now my computer isn't displaying this properly for some reason, but that gray sliver is a reply button. In that previous class, I found this one and clicked reply and wrote, he's a dickhead. And we all laughed. Then I clicked here to add a comment and I wrote, I'll try. The thing to note here is that there's no wrong answer for what your reply can be. I just need to know that you saw my feedback. If you want to engage in a conversation, I'm happy to do so. But if you just want full credit on the assignment, just say something like, I see that you said yada yada yada. When you submit comments here, this is what it looks like from my perspective in Canvas. Boom. That's all you have to do to get full credit. And that's where you have to look once we get started on the papers that you'll be writing for the course. The ending of the story is that we all went home Thursday nights. Then we came back the next week, and I realized that I had left "I hate my dad" saved on the desktop in the computer in the classroom. It was just a Word document that says nothing more than "I hate my dad" in all caps, saved under the file name "I hate my dad." And there was a sticky note posted on the monitor that said, "Please remember that anything saved on the classroom computers is not automatically deleted at the end of the night." So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in class.